We are back in the Butler universe. That's right. We just experienced a geostorm, and now we are getting ready to game. That's right. On today's How Did This Get Made Monday Matinee, we are talking all things gamer. That's right. We are going back into the world created by Neville Dean and Taylor. That's right. The people behind the brilliant Crank franchise. They have brought to us a pure piece of Gerard Butler perfection. This was recorded live in 2018 at Largo with Robert Kirkman, the creator of The Walking Dead and Invincible, and Emily Gordon. They sit down to talk to us about this movie, what we loved, what we hated. I mean, Terry Crews goes all out and ludicrous, maybe in a Fast and Furious style crossover between Gamer and Fast and Furious. We don't know. But the most important question that we asked in this episode was a very simple one. Can you start a car, or can you fuel a car with your own pee? That's something that Gerard Butler does, and we go down some pretty deep rabbit holes to find out if that is actually possible. Pissing for fuel and so much more. Take a listen to this clip from Gamer.
What about the society babies? There's got to be a lot of babies, right?
Who's taking care of the society babies?
Do they remember what they did?
I have so many questions.
I wanted to know if they could remember the activity or no.
Well, they seem to know
Or
what's
they
happening
just
as it's
puppet
going
it?
on sometimes.
Sometimes, except that when your husband's talking to you, you have no idea who he is.
No,
but when you see someone get
When
killed,
it's important
you
to the
cry.
plot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but she was on the bus talking to that guy like that was, I don't know who that lawyer was. Like she goes in and meets with him at the desk and she's like, "Hey, my husband's getting out of jail."
Sam Witwer, that's who the lawyer
And
was.
he laughs in a very odd fashion.
I was like, is he going to be a robot or something?
He
And
was
then they didn't,
and then you can.
they didn't do anything with that at all.
I was like, why are we? Is this an outtake?
Yeah, because
Is there a hidden German behind the scenes thing that reveals what that was about? I love that these are just like buried.
oh yeah, Germany became, by the way, #1 movie in Germany, and a 97% on German Rotten Tomatoes.
Wait, really?
No, there's no German Rotten Tomatoes.
I was like, what?
I want that so bad.
#1 movie in Germany got a 100% on German Rotten Tomatoes.
German Rotten
idiot.
Tomatoes.
What's the matter with you?
I would love German Rotten Tomatoes.
Rotten
want
rotten
all
sausages
countries.
and
Yeah.
I just want every movie now on German Rotten Tomatoes. Oh man, but he remembers his life. Gerard Butler remembers his life and his wife and his kids.
Does he though? Because he doesn't until I feel like the humans take whatever's in his blood and like he can't quite remember why he killed his friend.
The humans with the Z, by the way.
Yeah, of course.
Max Headroom, ludicrous Max Headroom, which is my favorite.
/ Mr. Robot.
/ Mr. Robot. And then they had to do something to him to get him to remember the big crazy secret, which was nothing.
Yeah, which was that he was innocent of the crime that he had been convicted of. Yeah.
And by the way,
he was also the test program for the whole system that Michael C. Hall was trying to hide.
And that Michael C. Hall was like controlling people to kill other people, but we knew that. I mean, if Society and Slayer's happening, we know some real fucked up shit's going on.
And the murder that he was committed for was so clearly something that he did not feel like. He's like, no. He's like, he's in a police interrogation room.
It was for the camera.
Where was that?
So the camera filmed him shooting someone.
I know, but I'm saying, but even his response to it is like, he's like, his head's like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Like he's fighting himself.
And I think that's
what his lawyer
best
in the trial was like, Your Honor, you can clearly see on the footage he's shaking his head saying he doesn't want to.
And it's being controlled by
really
some, He's got an IP address in his head of some kind.
I think Gerard Butler's best acting is when he's like doing something that he doesn't want to be doing. I think that's his wheelhouse.
It's like every movie, right?
He should always just be like, he's a real shaky dude.
Why in the very near future do news anchors smoke and curse?
I thought for sure that was a porn star too, and then
It was like, it's like in the very near future, and the news anchors are like, can you fucking believe that cable?
Well, that was actually one of my.
Almost gonna win.
I like that though too.
That was one of my favorite things about the movie was that there was this like unspoken thing where society has gotten so bad that everyone is really profane because there's a bunch of little snippets where people on TV are cussing and
Let me ask you
people
this.
behind the scenes are saying shit and everybody's screen names are terrible.
Do you think this movie takes place right before Idiocracy, and that Terry Crews first goes through this and then becomes the character in Idiocracy.
I really like that theory.
I think that's a thing.
It could also just be a Jacob's Ladder situation, good.
And then who was the rape guy? His name was literally Rape Man?
Wait,
who's the rape guy?
who is Rape Man?
Milo?
Oh, the one the wife picks up in the...
Yeah.
Oh,
With
yeah,
the
yeah, Jess
completely-
from
with the rubber
Gilmore
pants
Girls?
and the
Yeah.
rubber clothes.
AKA Jess from Gilmore Girls? I got very excited when he showed up. And I was like, hooray! Jess from Gilmore Girls is here.
Rape
Oh,
Man.
and he's playing another bad boy.
Straight up Rape Man.
Classic Jess.
What about Keith David showing up in the middle of the movie?
Dude, I love Keith David in anything.
Not enough Keith David in this movie.
Keith
comes
David and Terry Crews in the same movie, like, amp it up for me because they both are like the most kick-ass dudes. I feel like Keith David, is solid. But John Leguizamo shows up, and I'm
Johnny
like,
Legs.
why? Confused about why Johnny Legs.
Did anybody else
They're
think...
like, we really need you to care about this character when he dies in the game, so we got to make sure he's somebody important.
I think that he also was like Forrest Gump, kind of like everybody loved him as like a beloved slow person. Like,
But
there was
who would
something-
want to game that guy? Why would you be like, oh, I got the slow guy? Like,
Well,
I
because
mean,
he's like, why was he like sweeping?
Oh, well, that
the
was the
ground?
weird thing. There's like a mention of there are people in the game that only have to survive one game and then they get out of prison, but they can't control themselves and they don't. It's like thrown away.
That's
in like
right.
a
The people
split
with
second.
the blood splattering
Yeah,
on
so
them.
all the people walking around as like zombies,
Like civilians,
you know,
the woman who gets
like
hit by the
bumping into
truck,
wall
those
and-
people,
yeah, the guy carrying the briefcase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
It was an idea that was completely unnecessary.
I truly thought
if
at
you
a
read the
certain
book
point,
it was based on, you'll really. The book it's based on is 1,000 pages. It's kind of like The Stand, the Stephen King The Stand. Really get into all the dynamics.
I genuinely thought, like, for quite a while that John Leguizamo was an imaginary character.
Ooh, that would be fun.
Because, did anybody
That would be
else?
fun.
Because only Gerard Butler talks to him until very late in the movie. A guard does, and I was like, "Ah, damn it!" I thought it was a total Tyler Durden situation.
Interesting.
So while we're talking about John Leguizamo, can I also talk about the another thing that I think makes this movie phenomenal is what is this space prison they're in where it's all like white sand and they're in like mountains? And where is that?
They're on Tatooine.
Why is that not just a prison? Why didn't
Because-
they just put bars in the place where the games are filmed and just be like, oh,
They're
this is a
on
prison
like a
area?
chalk farm.
And from what we understand of society looks just
Wait,
like
Society of the Game?
Society
Yeah.
of the Game. Yes, looks just like normal. It doesn't look
Looks like the world. Looks
the
like
world,
Glendale.
right? Yeah, so it's like, so
Wait,
where is
doesn't
this?
the world looks like the world as well?
We think.
Yeah, but I'm saying like so that prison seems way out of place because he drives out of the game world at one point and then just in the regular world.
Yeah.
So that transport is a real
But
pain in the ass.
that's what I
I
kept
know.
not understanding.
Maybe there was a
Because-
field trip because you see him in a cell.
Oh yeah, they do get them. They're in that little
That
like
holding
kind of
area,
transport
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
That's just-
Space prison.
And there's the cell that he's in what's her
With
name?
her lady.
Passing him the pictures and so forth. But I also was like, I could never reconcile what was world, not world, and they kept glitchy the screen. They would be like, zzz, 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 and I'd be like, okay, so is this a construct? Are we living in a Matrix-like world where somebody is controlling the macro elements and they're placing everybody inside of it?
No one has asked these questions about this movie.
no,
other
not
than
really.
you.
Because
We
Gerard
trust young filmmakers, and they felt really passionate. So he didn't give them any notes, and they scared us.
Because
One guy had a
Gerard-
shaved head.
Gerard Butler is able to just, in the game, get in a truck and drive to his wife's house.
And
And
first
that's
off,
crazy.
pee in that truck. What?
Oh, that was amazing.
The alcohol pee.
That was
sitch.
amazing.
That-
Well, he vomits alcohol into the gas tank, and you're like, I guess that would work. And then he pees the rest of the alcohol into the gas tank,
I
which
have a
I
theory.
just thought was
think-
amazing.
I think Gerard Butler showed up
He fucked
drunk.
that truck?
He showed up drunk to work one day, and they have a bunch of scenes of him being drunk on camera, and they're like, we have to figure out a way to make this work. We can't reshoot. We've already wasted all of our money.
Go,
They're like,
shoot,
I got
shoot.
it.
What do we do? He's falling over with the gun. It's not going to work.
We
I got an idea.
It takes him so long to find a car to barf and pee in. He would have been killed 10,000 different ways.
He had to find an attractive car.
And also, how did you not know that the car didn't have gas in it? Most cars, you just can't drive them because you don't have the fucking
Okay,
keys.
so here's the example. Here's a perfect example, because that is a scene where I was like, what's he doing? Is this a real truck or is this in the game?
Well, it goes all the way back to the woman meeting with him, and he's like, "What else can I get you?" And he's like, "Drunk."
Yeah.
It's like, no. Did he say that? Did I hear that right?
Yes. And then I was flummoxed.
It was flummoxing.
But like, I feel like they cut away and drunk. What do you mean drunk? Listen, there's going to be a car there that runs on ethanol, and gin will actually work if I vomit it into the thing. Just give me some gin.
plans.
There had to be like a specific kind of alcohol that would work, right?
Well, we Googled it. Nate Googled this thing.
Really?
Oh, shit.
And he goes, every website I found said, yeah, cars run on ethanol, so it should work if it's super high proof alcohol, but don't try it on your car. And then they Googled all the results, and you basically just, a lot of them lead back to this bodybuilding.com forum where a dude's asking if the thing from Gamer would work.
If you want to listen to the whole episode, it is free right now in your stream, wherever you get your podcast. Check out Gamer. Check out our episode from last week, which of course was Geostorm. And if you want to hear more of this and see more in the shows that we do here on this YouTube channel, please like, subscribe, tell your friends, do it all. It's here. It's free. Come on.